Ian Sams. Ian, of course, Democratic strategist, former national press secretary for the Kamala Harris presidential campaign. You were with me here roughly this time yesterday, and I'll remind you what you said. You were all smiles. I should have suspected something was up. But you said, quote, imagine the signal it would send to the world if the Democrats fielded a ticket that looks like America. Did you know yesterday when we spoke what was about to come?
I didn't. I think that the Biden campaign deserves so much credit. And frankly, all the contenders, including Senator Harris, deserve so much credit for making this announcement on their terms. But while Chris was hosting a minute ago, we had John Meacham and Zerlina Maxwell on, and both were talking so powerfully about the historical significance of this choice. And it really has borne out over the last 24 hours. You see people from communities who are often overlooked and left behind in our politics speaking up and saying this is such a big moment for us to see ourselves reflected in power and on the ticket in a national election like this. And so, I think it's a symbol of Joe Biden's commitment to really govern for all of America and build a government that really reflects this country, which is such a sharp repudiation of what we've seen over the last 4 years with the Trump administration.
Ian, have you had an opportunity to talk to the senator, perchance, since the announcement? I would imagine it's been a bit of a whirlwind for her since yesterday. Have you had
I think she's been pretty busy over the last 18 hours. I haven't talked to her. I think her and her family are getting swept up into a real rush right now. I think she's on her way to Delaware to join Vice President Biden this afternoon for what should be a really incredible moment and event, talking about the vision that they share for America and what they're going to do as the ticket here over the next couple of months before the election. I'm so happy for her, so happy for her family, and really, so happy for everybody who has been a part of this process, both her former aides and campaign staff, who I know are so excited right now, and the Biden campaign, who really has shown such a great commitment to turning, as I said, I think yesterday, following Vice President Biden's lead of turning yesterday's rivals into today's allies. I think it's a really good symbol for bringing the party together and having a lot of momentum going into the election.
Something that's getting some attention this morning, Ian, is the fact that Donald Trump donated to Kamala Harris's campaign twice as a private citizen, a total of $6,000 in 2011 and 2013 combined. His daughter Ivanka donated as well. You told the reporters a few years ago that Harris gave that money away. How much harder does that make it for the president or one of his family members to personally make the case against Senator Harris?
I think it's just further proof that everything Donald Trump says or does is totally fraudulent. I mean, this is a guy who is basically making up a character as he goes along trying to govern this country, which I think he's pretty much given up on doing, as we've seen over this pandemic. His messaging and his campaign's messaging against Senator Harris and the Biden-Harris ticket, and frankly, against Vice President Biden over the last 6 months, has been all over the place. They don't have a sense of how to talk about their opponents, and they're nonsensical and logically inconsistent in every attack they make. I think it's because they're trying to sell Americans a bill of goods about who these people are. And the American public's just not buying it. You see Vice President Biden growing his lead over the last 6 months as Donald Trump has been throwing the kitchen sink at him. And I think that that's what they're going to try to do with Senator Harris as the running mate, too. They're going to throw every phony attack that they can against the wall to try to see if anything sticks. But at the end of the day, the American people can see through it. They see a desperate president who has failed to govern and failed to manage this pandemic and save American lives. And they're just seeing him desperate to do anything to cling on to power to try to win in November. And I think, frankly, Americans are pretty tired of it. And so it's going to really prevent them from being able to let these attacks, these baseless attacks, really sort of stick on either Senator Harris or Vice President Biden.
Ian Sams. And again, a reminder for our viewers and listeners on Sirius Satellite Radio. Yesterday on this broadcast, Ian did commit to go back to work if called. So this may be the last time. This may be the last time we see or talk to him for a while. Ian, good to see you. Thanks again. Thanks for your time, buddy.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.